Welcome to the Sample Scheduler web interface demo. This is part 1, the Lab Manager. This is the Sample Scheduler web UI. I can launch it from any browser on a desktop PC or a mobile device. I am the Lab Manager Sylvia and I want to view the workload and performance of my lab, and therefore I first have to log in. This is now my start page. Here I can see the workload of my instruments as well as the graphical overview, so-called half-circle radar, of the queue of analysis for my entire lab. I can see how many instruments are available or busy or in error state. The analysis workload overview shows the number of pending analyses that require a user action, the number of analyses in progress, which require no particular attention, the number of completed analyses, and the number of analyses that are in error state and require attention. One instrument is in error state. I will need to look at this in a moment, but before, let's look at the analysis that requires some actions. Here I can view the pending analysis of the entire lab. The list of pending runs is not very long. All samples with their corresponding names and associated LIMS IDs are shown. Further, I can see the instruments they were assigned to with instrument status and val position. Now let's return to the start page. I can click on the second segment of the radar to see the list of samples in progress or queued in the entire lab. I can scroll down to explore the list and see the status of the individual samples. Everything looks fine, so let's return to the start page. Now let's take a closer look at the instruments. For this purpose, I will open the main menu and select the instrument view from the list of views. The instrument view is a concise view on all instruments and their states in the lab and is very valuable to lab managers. At a glance, I can see the availability of my instruments and the state that they are in. Let's look at the instrument tile in more detail. The instrument tile consists of a header showing the instrument name, state, and runtime information, the analysis workload area showing the queue of analysis, and the information area with detailed information on the current state. The view is continuously updated and shows the distribution of analysis for each instrument. Now let's focus on the 6890 GC. It has one pending analysis, none queued, one completed, and one in error. The analysis in error state catches my eyes and I want to further investigate what went wrong. Therefore, I look at all analysis associated with this instrument. Here I can see an analysis in error state and a second analysis waiting on error due to this failure. I can see immediately that the val positions 199 and 201 are the problem, as the tray has a maximum number of 100 positions. I reset the two analyses to make them editable and correct the error. Now that I have restarted the runs, the val position is correct and the two runs can be scheduled by the responsible owner. So let's return to the instrument view. I now want to look at the 1260 LC instrument in error state. I want to know what happened. The information area displays the error message from the instrument. By scrolling down, I can see that it failed due to overpressure. Let's also look at an instrument that is currently in run state. The 7890 is acquiring data. I can see the instrument is in run state and which sample is currently acquired by it. I can see the sample name, the acquisition method name, and that the instrument is currently used by the technician Mary. Behind the instrument status, the elapsed runtime is shown. And from the blue progress bar, I can tell at a glance how much is left of the total runtime of 32.5 minutes. I can further drill down to the queue of samples for this instrument by clicking on the blue radar segment for a current instrument queue. I can see a list view of the analyses that are scheduled to run on this 7890 GC, and the one on the bottom is currently being acquired. It is a dual simultaneous injection. I am done with my work and will now log out. If I would leave it open, the time-based session log would log the session automatically after the defined period of inactivity if enabled. Thanks for watching the Lab Manager Web UI demo.